course, my recording would crash on me. I did double check to verify the recording quality was set to 1080p. However, it seems that the recordings will max out at 720p for the current file size. So 4 megapixels is apparently maxing at 720p and not 1080p. That would be a issue with my recording software, maybe? Possibly? I'm not sure. I did go ahead and sleep the night away. I also harvested the contents of my farm over here so that the farm was able to grow more. I got a lot of potatoes out of it. I got like 4 stacks. It's amazing. Not any poison potatoes, only 4 poison potatoes. There's the bone blocks. I'm up to half a stack of bone blocks now. What else do I need? I need a shovel, actually. So I need to move that over there, move that out of the way. I need a shovel. Because I need to finish decorating my base. I have all of these torches up here, and these torches are all generating particle effects. Therefore, the torches need to go ahead and take a bit of a break, as they might say. There we go. So I will go through. I will remove these torches. I shall plant in their place a pumpkin so that these torches are not just entirely missing from my base lighting. This would be an opportune moment, actually, to display how my base is severely overtorched. So as you can see, this block, being so far away from all of these other blocks, is still not spawnable. And that is entirely because I have used such ample amounts of lighting, that the torches are simply redundancies by this point. Now, that's not to say that all of the torches are redundancies. They are creating redundancies within each other. The capacity of viewing a spawnable area is, of course, more of a shader than a texture pack, but it's really kind of one and the same. The only real difference between the two is that the shaders are loaded at a different stage of the loading screen when you are loading your Minecraft. Shaders can be easily reloaded every time you clear out your view range, for example. The shaders will get reloaded. Now, this texture pack that I have for the the chunk borders does not have the vertical chunk borders as a setting. It doesn't have the vertical set. It only has the horizontal set, which is only half useful to me. The vertical chunks do actually come into play when messing with spawn mechanics. Specifically, if you're trying to set up, for example, a slime farm, you need to know what your vertical chunk is because you want the lowest vertical chunk. So, apologies to Foxy No Tail, but I will not be utilizing his chunk border texture pack. On top of that, his text border texture pack, his chunk border texture pack, seems to not want to function at the same time that the spawn location texture pack is on. This seems to be an issue specifically with the order of operations between the spawn location and the chunk border. I am on Minecraft for Android, so this is, of course, Bedrock Edition for mobile phone, downloaded from the Google Play Store. Legit copy, of course, because that's how we do. Good night to my dad there. He had a bit of a cough. So if he wants to fix his texture pack, great. If Foxy No Tail does not want to fix his texture pack, that's fine too. I won't force him to. However, I don't think I will be utilizing that texture pack. I will mostly be utilizing the ability to know when I need to place a torch. As you can see, it is daylight. The texture pack does not bother checking for light levels during the day. The texture pack specifically checks for whether or not it has enough lighting to prevent mob spawns. Yeah, see? I missed a spot right there, and oh my god, that guy's got a trident. Vile fiend. Oh, now I'm the vile fiend because I forgot to stay breathing. Back ye vile fiend. There he goes. It appears I did not get a trident. That is sad. That being said, I did get hungry. So, went ahead and ate that pork chop. Yeah, so anyway, I mentioned last video that I would be interested in playing Final Fantasy XI. I've played it before. I have a very nice character built on it. Yeah, see? That is the extent to which I have overtorched this place. It requires me taking out 5 layers of torches, essentially, in order to make it so that it's dark enough for me to need to fill in some form of light. And even then, like, oh, well, of course my phone has a low battery. Of course. So even then, like, I can skip probably every other one of these just to sparingly utilize my resources. That being said, I don't actually need to sparingly utilize my resources at the moment, as I have a lot of pumpkins. Oops. So yeah, I'm just placing in all of these pumpkins, these carved pumpkin lanterns here, in order to fill out all of the spawnable space with carved pumpkins. That way, I don't need to worry about particle effects from torches bothering my processor as I try and play the game in peace. You know, I want to have my phone be able to process all of the game along with the recording, because all of this stuff definitely takes its toll. I am aware that I still need to replace some of these pumpkins. At least I'm aware of it now. Let's see. Okay. So yeah, the game Final Fantasy XI starts off real slow because of the steep learning curve. However, the actual gameplay starts off decently fast-paced for such a low level, and then proceeds into the higher speeds at the higher levels. So it starts off being, okay, and then as I mentioned at level 10, you unlock that level sync, the level synchronization, which allows you to group up and advance at the same speed, basically, which is great. However, it kind of limits your ability to know some of the more advanced techniques. Son of a... Come here, you. sneak. Move forward. Before he kills you, please. Thank you. Now, let's see if we can spot him. Yeah, him. He's very angry. So, of course, running up. And that's how you deal with an Enderman. You just make sure he can't hit you, and problem solved. Ta-da! I did not think I would be going through this many torches. Or this many lanterns. However, it does seem that I need to update more than just the lighting, as it occurs to me that a decent portion of this is coarse dirt when it really doesn't need to be, just like a portion of these torches don't need to be here. I understand they were part of the original build of the farm. However, we have long since upgraded, separated the various parts of the farm out, and as a result, we kind of just need to look into proper lighting with a decently organized farm. I'm just going through, knocking out the ring of dirt specifically surrounding the farm. Leaving the farm intact, of course, but I'm just digging it out by hand if need be. Not really need to, but I'm going by hand because I don't really feel like building another shovel just yet. And then once I have all this dug out, I will want to switch to dirt. Just regular old dirt. Not coarse dirt, just regular dirt. And then I want to fill it in so that I have everything all situated for when I go back through with a shovel. Speaking of which, I want a shovel. Because I want to convert these dirt blocks into path blocks. Go ahead and eat some more food, because that guy did do a lot of damage to me earlier, so I of course want to keep my health up. very important in Minecraft to keep your health up. The game Final Fantasy XI. I have fond memories of it. I'm decently sure that all of those memories will probably be nothing like I remember once I actually play the game, but assuming that the game still plays the same, I will be able to provide some material in the form of a Let's Play, assuming my character's still intact. If my character is not intact, well, that will suck, but, at least I'll be able to play it. It's a fun enough game either way, really. I kind of wish I didn't have to pay a monthly subscription fee just to play it. That does kind of suck about MMOs, but they do need to fund the rather expensive MMO servers, so I don't really blame them for it. I just think it's kind of, bit of bad form that they limit it so heavily, because $12 a month is a lot. Like, you really have to get your money's worth if it's $12 a month, in my opinion. And again, I'm the type that sits there and squints at a price tag of $20 for a game. So the fact that I would squint at the price of $12 a month for a game is not very surprising, to be honest. That's kind of par for the course. That's expected from me. It's like, you want me to pay how much? I don't know. That's kind of suspicious. What kind of prices we got we got going here? What kind of pricing options we talking? And yeah, I'll negotiate. I play D&D, so of course I'll negotiate. I'll haggle down the price, sure. My main character in D&D, why, that would be a sorcerer. They use charisma for their spellcasting. Good backup character, I believe I could play a bard, sure. Don't expect me to know very many songs for the moment, because my ability to improv the correlation between music and situation is very limited. So do not expect me to improv singing. I'm not good at improv singing. I'm great with a script. If you give me a script, I can nail it, okay? But Sam Riegel is just great because he improvs 90% of the songs that he does in the Critical Role series, and I honestly love that about him and his character as well, is that he just improvs it. And he uses it with such relatable music that I'm, familiar with. So it's really amazing that he's able to do that, because I can't. I can't do that. I wish I could do that. That would be awesome if I could do that. But I can't. I don't know how. My brain just does not connect the dots on that type of stuff, so I don't. But I am able to facilitate quite a hefty portion of other portions of the bardic background. I'm able to facilitate the seduction aspect, of course. I'm able to provide inspirational speeches. There are many different types of bards in the world. There's musicians, there's people who write motivational speeches, you know, the inspirational types. There's poetry. There's all kinds of different speeches and bardic archetypes, really. I know that the bard class in D&D is quite overpowered, quite broken, in fact. The capacity for a bard to become as powerful as they are, however, is mostly limited by how much work the DM makes them put in, or GM in most cases, which of course means Dungeon Master for the DM or Game Master for GM. The difference between the two, a lot of people say there's no difference. That's not entirely true. There is a difference. The difference is a Game Master designs the game. They run the game. However, a Dungeon Master only operates within the confines of the dungeon. So a Game Master would be, for example, if you were working on revamping the rules, if you were performing world building, if you were making use of anything homebrew, that would be a GM's designation. If you were, however, working on something that was entirely official, that would be a DM. So a GM is someone who builds literally everything, whereas a DM is just someone who follows the rules. Another way of putting it would be is that a rules lawyer follows the rules of a DM. So they will look at the rules and they will follow those rules no matter how extreme the rules might seem or get or what have you. A rules lawyer essentially acts like a DM, whereas the person who made the game, the one who wrote all the rules down, gathered all the players, went over all the character sheets, made sure that everyone was integrated into the plot line of the world, and they each had their own story that they could follow and unfurl, and they each had some form of past, some form of plot hook that was going to integrate them into the world so that they had some interest in whatever quest you're about to send them on. That is the GM. The DM tells people, hey, we're supposed to be on this quest. That's the difference. That is legitimately the difference. People get so upset when you tell them, are you like backseat GMing? It's like, no, I'm DMing. You know, I'm helping the game master with their dungeon because they needed some help with their dungeon. So I helped them, you know. I mentioned, hey, you know, you got this in the rules. And they might go, oh, we're not using those rules. And I'll say, oh, okay. And that's fine. That's perfectly fine. That's totally normal, perfectly legit. You know, that is fine. What's not fine is pressing the point further and saying, look, I know you're doing it that way, but have you ever considered this way? And if they say no, then you can discuss it. But if they say yes, then what you want to do is you want to not press the point further, because they've already considered that option. They don't need to consider that option further because they've already considered it. They took it into consideration. They said no. That's fine. Just leave it at that. It's that simple. I have so many torches. I guess since it's raining, I can just stand here. But yeah, the DM has nearly the final say. The GM does have the final say. If the GM says no, then the answer is no. If the DM says no, you can still ask the GM and hope that the GM will say, well, I know, my little helper over there said no, but I like this idea, so I'll let it happen. And you might get to utilize your idea based on how well your idea was presented. It really is entirely up to your game master, ultimately. So you really got to remember to run everything by your game master, just like the book says. Maybe your game master's a bit of a strict type, maybe not. The only way to know is to ask the game master. And until you've gotten a good handle on what type of person the game master is, what type of player they are, you really don't know what to expect. Because each game master can end up playing wildly differently. Like, I know plenty of game masters who would never play the way that Steve played. My first GM,